So, when you were explaining different dimensions
Ah,
of bhakti, how do we equate rituals and other practices? Should we see it under form, worshipping under form, or rituals is how we look at it?
Rituals fall under the category of karma yoga, right? So don't mix it up. That is karma. Rituals belong to this practice of karma, what I am supposed to do. You have been given certain injunctions as to what you are supposed to do as a human being belonging to this particular position and status and all that. Perform your obligations. This is the basic idea. Rituals idea is that, right? While performing those rituals, you can add something to it. Without this addition also you can do. That's the secondary option. What is that you add along with practice of the rituals is that I am not interested in the result of the ritual. You perform the ritual, you get the result. For every effort there is a effect. You say that I offer that result also back. I put that result also back into this. Right? This is the attitude with which you perform your karma yoga. Right? Then you can go little more to it. We will see that in the next portion. The progressive ways. And he is going to explain from 6th verse onwards, we will see that. How you can progress from this practice to the next practice, to next practice, to next practice. That's the focus here. That's why if you see up to chapter 11, even though technically we say from 7th chapter Bhakti Yoga starts, in the initial portions of the term Bhakti there is used more in the aspect of attitude, bhavana. 12th chapter he changes the gear. He moves to sadhana. Right? This is sadhana bhakti. There it is bhavana. Bhavana bhakti cannot be taught. There cannot be any special effort that you can put into develop that. But here he is moving to this part of it. So here it is totally different. He is going to be asking you to add few more things to your practice of karma yoga. So far, you offer the result and all those things is a very basic one. Or you take as prasada buddhi, you take. This is very basic practice. When you add few more things to it, that is where bhakti comes into picture. Few more, efforts, conscious effort you put in and you add on to, it becomes karma yoga plus bhakti yoga. But it's not that bhakti is independent of karma yoga. No. It is done together. It is to be practiced together. Right? So, how do you connect to the rituals if you are asking? First answer is rituals belongs to karma yoga practice. What we are discussing in this chapter is bhakti. It is like icing on the cake, they say. Karma yoga gives you the base. To make any cake, you need a base, no? Karma yoga is making that base. Now you can add like pizza base and toppings. The base is same. Base is common for everybody. Karma yoga is compulsory for everyone. You have to practice. Rituals you need to do. Now remember, rituals, when we say, we are not talking about, everybody should start doing havan. Right? That's why he has redefined the idea of rituals in the 4th chapter. So Krishna has already done that. So now you cannot go back to Krishna and say, okay, Krishna, are you asking all of us to start practicing havan, fire worship? You say yes, but with a new meaning, in a new dimension, in a new way, you do it. Doing that is karma yoga practice. Then comes bhakti. Bhakti is a totally different process. But when your effort is coming into picture, these two together makes a cake. Same way, these two together makes a sadhak, progress. So karma yoga and bhakti yoga should be practiced how? Not in sequence, simultaneous. To do both, you need basic knowledge. The fundamental knowledge is needed. Very elementary knowledge is needed. So with the very basic knowledge and understanding, that is why in the 2nd chapter, Krishna refers to karma yoga as buddhi yoga. He calls it as buddhi yoga. Why he calls it as buddhi yoga? Buddhi is employed to gain jnanam, no? Knowledge. Why? Because unless you have that basic knowledge, fundamental viveka is needed. Very elementary viveka, that is. With that elementary viveka, elementary knowledge, you engage in karma and, if possible, go through the grades of bhakti, whatever grade of bhakti that you can practice. He's going to give 5 steps, 5 grades he is going to give. You can keep moving. As you keep progressing like this, with the knowledge, with karma and bhakti, you grow, you evolve. After that, you will get one vairagya. After this, even to practice karma yoga, you need some basic vairagya, isn't it? Or how can you practice any one of these things without way? But that is a very, very elementary vairagya. That's not drida vairagya. You reach a position of drida vairagya. That drida vairagya is what is referred as uparati. Then you start moving into the next discipline of dharana, dhyana, samadhi, realization. This is the progression. So karma is a different effort. Bhakti is a different effort. Jnanam is a different effort. You get it? There's one more quick question we have. Sharan. When one gains knowledge, devotion will be developed automatically. Can this be elaborated further? See, one of the definition, one of the meanings we have for bhakti, we'll not know whether he's there. That's the problem. In Zoom, we'll know. YouTube live, we'll not know.
On WhatsApp.
But anyway, it's only a more of a theoretical question, so we can answer that. There's no issues. What was meant is this. one of the meanings we have for bhakti is jnana visesha. One of the aspects of bhakti is, as you gain that knowledge, then we ask the question, knowledge of what? Which knowledge you gain? Obviously, it's not knowledge of physics, chemistry, mathematics we are talking about, economics, management, and all that. We are discussing with reference to knowledge of the scripture, scriptural knowledge. As you keep gaining the knowledge from the scriptures, you start experiencing something. What is that you experience here? As you keep gaining knowledge in the scriptures means, what is the subject matter in the scripture? The subject matter of the scripture is to talk about the greatness and the glory of God. Right? That's what scriptures talk about. Scriptures don't discuss anything else. Right? So when you are studying the scriptures more and more, when you understand the scriptures, what is going to happen? More and more you will start understanding the nature of God, means how God is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. So more and more when you understand someone to be all powerful, and more you understand that all powerful being, that all knowing being, ever present being is so graceful also. He is the embodiment of compassion. Right? Naturally, when you have an access to someone who says, very powerful person says, I am always available for you. When you have a problem, who will you call first? Imagine the chief minister. As prime minister, not too much. Chief minister. Attends the class. Imagine that. He is my student. Story, eh? Imagine he is sitting in a class. Next to him is World Bank chairman. These are the people who attend my classes, let's say. If I want something, what will I do? Naturally. There is a parking problem in my road. My problem will be my problem only. Correct? So every day come, parking is such a big, nuisance it is. There's no parking is not there, done properly, so the vehicle is, getting scratched here, scratched there is a real problem, sir. Story here, all this is, nothing is real, okay? It's all story. And all that I have to do is what? Let them know that I have an issue, that's all. All that I have to do is what? Next time after the class, I need to tell that person, sir, next, don't bring your security and all that. I will drop you and take him in that car. The moment he sees a car, he is going to ask, sir, ore scratches. Parking problems are, nuisance. Next day, what will happen?
New cars.
One fellow will say, "Nah, sir, the car don't use." Not that he doesn't want me to use. He cannot travel. Right? It's an insult for him. Like it actually happened to one of our person. He was a personal doctor to the royalty. Personal doctor he was. This man didn't bother. That guy also didn't bother. After about 6 months, one day he saw one decent car. Not that, some dabba car or anything. Not that he was coming in Fiat and all that. He was coming in a very good car. He saw that, the king, the royal. He didn't say anything. Next visit of his, he had to come and see this man. He gave, just give him that. They gave him a key, Mercedes-Benz. New Mercedes-Benz key was given to him. And he says, "No, I don't want it. I can't, because that man said, I can't maintain it. First problem is parking, second problem is petrol. I can't maintain it. I don't want all this." It's not for you, for me. Because in that street, when you take a turn from the main road, everyone will know this car is coming into the palace. People have been living in that city from birth till death, never taken the turn. Everyone knows in the city, if a car takes a turn, it is this. And since you are coming here, you would have told everyone in the hospital where you are going, where you are coming from. If you travel in this car into my place, it is a disgrace to me, he said. Look at that, that's royalty. Such a genuine person he was. He said, "Don't insult me." It's an insult. Same way, when you are having such a close association with someone, because you've been studying the scriptures, you are getting to know about God and you are seeing Him, understanding Him so much. Obviously, you are moving closer. When you are moving closer to Him, when you have an issue, who will be the first person for you to appeal? Who will you appeal? Obviously, you will appeal only to the one who is capable of resolving the problems. And when you know here is a man who is all powerful and all knowing, are always ready to help you, waiting. He's waiting there. That's what they say. Look at the way he is standing. It's almost like get ready, go. Like that he is standing, say. Waiting to help you. Obviously, who will you go for? And what is your fundamental problem? Your fundamental problem is not that my car is not having a parking, my car has a scratch, my house has an issue, my wife has a problem, my neighbor has a problem, my nephew has an issue like this, he is not getting a job. That's not the issue. What is your fundamental issue? Samsara is a fundamental issue. Right? And when you know bigger the problem, bigger the power is needed to resolve it, isn't it? Small problem, small people can solve. Big problem, only big person can solve. How can a small fellow solve? It's not possible. As far as you're concerned, more and more you study the Shastras, what do you understand? You understand one side, the glory and greatness of God. Along with that, also you understand the depth of your samsaric problem. Right? So obviously, what will happen? And you know how Alpagnya you are. He is Sarvagnya. What are you then? He is Sarva Shaktiman. What are you? And to cross over the samsara, what is needed? You need strength. Do you have that? Can you swim across the ocean? Impossible. You can't swim across the ocean. You need someone to take you the ship. Therefore, what happens? You go on appeal. Whether he is going to solve it, he is not going to solve a secondary problem. Right? But you will put your appeal, no? You will go to him, right? That going is what is referred as bhakti. Who is your resort? Who is your refuge? Who do you trust? Who do you believe? What do you believe in life is going to be the solutions for your problems? For your problems, you believe in whom? In what? I believe problems can be solved once I have money. If money is there, if money is not there, problem cannot be solved. So to get that money, I need God's help. That's what we call as artharthi. So essentially, what is he saying? He's saying his belief is where? The ignorance. Innocently, you believe that. Innocently, you believe in people. Innocently, you believe in power. Innocently, you believe in name, fame, all that. If I have more life, like people always ask, would you like to get, lifetime free travel, airlines? Option A. Option B, 100 million. Option C, free petrol, rest of your life. Option D, start your life again from 6th standard. A lot of them say, I'll start from that, with this knowledge. Why? You know where to invest. Isn't it? First thing you would have done is what? Where to invest, where to, because you know what all going to happen. You will be state first. Imagine you write, 10th standard exam with this knowledge. You go back to 10th standard and write that exam. What you will be? Free airlines, I will buy an airline. I will have an airline myself. I would have bought this. I would have bought that. I got this. I got this. I would have done so. I can do so much. So what is needed? Long life is needed, sir. Longer life. If you live long, if I have more strength physically, like a lot of old people, they say that. Mentally, I don't have problems, sir. Body is not cooperating. That's the tragedy. Mind problem. Some of them say mind is a problem, body is not the problem. Keep forgetting. Physically, no issues. Keep forgetting. old age. Keeps moving, you see. So each one of us have one issue, and we believe solution lies in the opposite of that. Alas, no one understands that it is God I trust. Dollars they have, no? In dollars they write. In God we trust. That's why it's a powerful currency. Where is your strength? Who do you believe? Your efforts is not going to find solution to samsara. But you can't live in samsara. You want to get out of samsara, and you know there is someone who is capable of. What will you do naturally? That's why we say knowledge is needed. As you gain knowledge, what will happen? You will start moving towards God more. That moving towards God is known as devotion. So we say, as you develop knowledge, devotion comes automatic, as it were. Not that, compulsorily, but if you gain knowledge the way you are supposed to be gaining knowledge, with the proper qualifications and with the proper effort, with the proper guidance, all that is needed. So qualification, systematic effort, and guidance. So through that, this will come. Then we may ask, to one more question we'll come to. Sir, what about bhakti giving jnanam? Isn't it? ரொம்ப easy அது. Yes, bhakti, if jnanam can result in bhakti, then why not bhakti result in jnanam? Remember, Vedanta says no. You may get angry with me. I can't do anything. Bhakti, even I thought like that. Like Kalidasa movie, when I saw, the first thing I asked my mother was that. And the Kali temple enga irukku? Because all that you have to do is what? Go and sit in the temple and meet Kali and ask her. That's all. Problem solved. Transformed into the greatest, the king of poets. Kalidasa, and then everybody else. That's how we equate. There's no comparison. He cannot be compared with anyone. Like how, Valmiki says, how was the fight between Rama and Ravana happened? Rama Ravana Yuddha happened how? Like Rama Ravana Yuddha. Because there's nothing you can compare with. If Valmiki cannot compare, all out. Say, how was that fight? It's exactly like how Rama Ravana Yuddha happened. Like the Kalidasa. Can't you gain that jnanam through bhakti? Remember, bhakti cannot provide jnanam. Bhakti can only facilitate your efforts to gain jnanam. Further jnanam. You see? Like people think, if jnanam can mature into bhakti, why not bhakti mature into jnanam? We say no. It will not happen, because that is not the rule of life. There is a process, there is a method, there is a law we have in this world. The law is given out by the Lord Himself, it's fixed. If you want to get a strong body, what are you supposed to do? Have proper diet and proper exercise. Only then you will get a fit body. Correct? You cannot say, I will go to temple and sit and cry and do bhajans. I'll write song after song after song on God, on Lord Rama. Tyagaraja wrote 24,000. I will write 25,000 song on Rama. Will I get a fit body? That is not possible. If you have to earn wealth, what do you have to do? Provide goods or services. Something should be exchanged. You have to provide something to the market. Let it be in the form of goods, or that can be in the form of services, which will be exchanged for wealth, money. Isn't it? How much you make, you cannot ask anyone. Because making money is under the purview of the government. Only they can print. Now, I can manufacture a counterfeit note. You cannot. You can only earn. When you are going to earn wealth, how do you earn wealth? No. There is a means. There is a way. What is the method, sir? You have to provide some goods or some services to the market. And the market will recognize that and give you in returns. That's all it is. You want more? Do better. So, if you want health, there is a method. There is a wealth, there is a method. Can you change that? Not possible. One effort cannot produce other effect. So, if you are interested in the effect, you need to go through that proper process. So, in life, it's fixed. The means and ends were fixed. What is the means? What is the end is fixed here in this world. In that, if you want to gain knowledge, if that is what your sadhyam, effect, what you want to achieve, then sadhana for that is what? Means for that is what? What is the methodology? What is the methodology?
Understand the root cause.
If you want to gain knowledge, what is the methodology? In the world. In the world, how do you gain?
Study.
It's called a process of education. Education is the process. Through this means of education, you gain knowledge. You cannot say, I'm going to offer my services and goods and gain knowledge. Adu nadakadu. You offer your services and goods, you will get wealth. Knowledge you will not get. You see, you will get that. But you will not be able to gain this. So, sir, can jnanam, because the problem we all have is this, at least I felt like that. Gaining knowledge is a long and tedious process. sadhana chatushtaya develop panni. First we need to develop. Adike, how many janmas will happen, we don't know. And then we have to go and sit and do shravanam and then mananam and then nididhyasana. Bah, too much arga. Instead of all that, what you have to do now? This looks very easy for me. Every day I go to the temple and go around the Akkara Talwar Sannidhi. I used to do that. I may have fever also. I will not miss it. Every day morning. Because someone told me this. I genuinely believed. He said, daily po. Wow. He said. And I was doing it for years. Not, for a few months and all that. Not that there's no effect for that. But that will not give you jnanam, remember. You think if you keep on going there to the temple one fine day, Chakratarvar, I genuinely thought like that. He will come one day and touch me. And, write Om in my tongue. I'll become, proficient. Speak normal, that's all. Not that, you are going to write poetry, Allah. Talk normally. It took me years of that to understand. If you want to gain knowledge, you have to go through this systematic process of education. There is a process. There are steps to it. You have to follow the steps. Only then jnanam will come. Remember, jnanam can produce bhakti. But bhakti will not produce jnanam. It's a very wrong notion if a person were to get it. So remember that. Converse will not happen. Right? So will this bring you this, sir? No. So for that, what all needed? There are conditions for that. As I said, you have to be a qualified student, and then you need to have a proper system and a proper teacher to teach you. Isn't it? Many times we have seen that. One teacher comes till, 9th standard, hating chemistry. Then suddenly I get a teacher in the 9th standard who inspires you so much. Your life becomes chemistry after that. You go right up to doing PhD because of that one teacher's inspiration. 9th standard teacher's inspiration takes you right up to that. How? You need to have a proper teacher, a proper syllabus is needed. The syllabus has to be there, no? So proper syllabus is needed, proper teacher is needed, and then a qualified student is also needed. Unqualified person goes and sits there, cannot. You see, they buckle, they break down. Because you can't take that intensity of the course. You believe you have to be in the ICU for the 36 hours, continuous. Continuous 36 hours. No breaks. And there are about 100 kids. It's not that there is only 1, 2, not like our hospitals, we understand. 2, 3 and all. No. There are hundreds of them. No time for you to even take a nap. Forget about sleep. Intensity. Can you withstand that intensity to push you? That's qualification. There are qualifications needed for every stage, every subject. Every subject demands certain qualifications. Similarly, the study of Vedanta demands certain qualification. That's the Sadhana Chatushtaya. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampati, and Mumukshatu. Shat Sampati is sixfold. Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. These are the six-fold qualifications needed. With those qualifications, what you need, sir? You need a progressive syllabus. As you keep moving, the syllabus should get progressing. If you are not having a progressive syllabus, you will not grow. You will not gain knowledge. That's why the scriptures, they have a clear progression of syllabus. What should be studied first? What should be studied next? What should be studied next? What should be studied next? It grows. What you study later cannot be studied first. Today the problem is, because it's all accessible freely, I was resisting this for so many years. Coming to this, social media. Corona opened up. Now we couldn't do anything. Strictly speaking, it should not be there. Given a choice, I will say shut down. Close down all this. This is not the way to do it. Why? The problem is, since everything is available there, we don't understand what should be studied first, what should be studied second, what should be studied third. Morning you study one, evening you listen to something else, night you listen to something else. So much of confusion. Remember, the education means all these three: student, syllabus, teacher. A qualified teacher. Who is a qualified teacher? Not the one who speaks very well. Oh, he speaks very nice, sir. That's not a teacher. That's a speaker. Yeah, that's also needed. I'm not saying it's not needed or anything. That's a skill by itself. That doesn't mean he is a teacher. What is a fundamental qualification of a teacher? In this context, we say guru. Huh?
Brahmanishta.
I want too much. Do you know whether he is a Brahmanishta or not? You have no clue. You say, this is what we say, basic knowledge. First qualification of him is how long he had been a Shishya. Longer he had been a Shishya, greater qualification for him to be a Guru. Whether he will take the position of a Guru or not is a different thing. Right? First qualification, this is the lowest one. Least qualification for a Guru. I'm talking about spiritual teacher, not a max teacher. Spiritual Guru. He should have been a Shishya. The one who has not been a Shishya to someone is not accepted here. Will not be accepted here. He could be even a Brahmanishta. We say we don't care about it. This is what I'm calling as proper basics knowledge. So if you want to gain spiritual knowledge, because many people take bhakti could be a means for jnanam. Why not bhakti be a means for jnanam, sir? Possible, no? And the interesting part is we will give references also. That's the best part of it. You see,
Exactly.
we will show examples. Oh, what a great man, what a great knowledge. Kabir, this one, that one, all that we will say. But what you fail to recognize is those people could have achieved it. How did they achieve it? No. Vedanta says they have already covered the effort of gaining knowledge. You see, their effort for gaining knowledge, their study, reflection, contemplation, all that, they have completed the entire process. Right? Now, in the last point, that process has matured into bhakti now. Now, we are seeing that data only from conversion of bhakti point. Post converted into bhakti, we are seeing. Before that, what happened, nobody knows. That doesn't mean a person who is in the very early stages sees that and says, okay, he was a bhakta, he gained knowledge. Therefore, let me also become a bhakta and gain knowledge. No, it will not happen. That is why we need to have the conviction on the rules given by the Lord. This universe is governed. If you are having trust or belief in the government, means you should follow the laws of the land properly, no? I will go on breaking the laws of the land, but I trust in the government. How is that? So if you believe that Ishvara has created this universe, he is a creator, and he has fixed the rule. What is the rule? For every end, there is a means I have given. You cannot change that. If you are going to be changing that, he may change. Right? He may change. He may take one person as an exception. Correct. Kannappa Nayanar gained mukti. Correct. But Kannappa Nayanar cannot be writing a poetry like Tirunavakasar, no? Isn't it? That is not come. Why? He has gained mukti. No, he is a Brahmanishta. No. He should be able to. No. This is different, that's different. If you want to gain knowledge, what is needed, sir? A systematic process of education is needed. And that's what the scriptures recommend. And what is that? It includes 3 dimensions. Any education system has 3 dimensions. 1 is the student, 2, progressive syllabus, 3, teacher. This is what is going to determine the success of gaining knowledge. To the extent these 3 are perfected, to that extent knowledge will dawn. To the extent any one of them were to be flawed, to that extent your progress towards gaining knowledge will differ. You see. So when one gains knowledge, devotion will be developed, automatic, correct? Will happen. If you gain proper knowledge, right? Even with improper knowledge, you will have improper bhakti. From abhakta, you will become a kamya bhakta. at least. Sakama Bhakta. With improper knowledge. With proper knowledge, you will become a Nishkama Bhakta. So either case, it's correct. If it's a flawed knowledge, if it is a defective knowledge, then your bhakti also will be defective. Your devotion also will become defective, incomplete. If you have a complete knowledge, if you have a perfect knowledge, then your devotion also will become perfect. So therefore, we can establish there is a link between the two. Now, as we are studying this, remember this also parallelly. Can the converse happen, sir? I don't know how many of you believed it, but I believed it like that. It can happen. It took me years to understand. No, it doesn't happen like that. I'm not saying that based on my experience. I'm speaking based on the logic. Isn't it? You have to provide a logical explanation. You see, you cannot just simply point examples. You see that? You can't pinpoint a random examples and say, Bhakta became a Jnani. This Bhakta became a Jnani, this Bhakta gained knowledge, this Bhakta gained. No, we don't, that's not the way to establish a concept. How do you establish a concept here? We establish it through proper reasoning. So any reasoning starts with the established principle. What is the established principle? In this world, there is a rule. What is it? For every ends, there is a corresponding means. This is the means, this is the end. This is the means, this is the end. So if you are interested in that end, you have to go through this means. This is the established law. Now we apply that law here to the process of gaining knowledge. Like how we saw the process of developing bhakti through jnanam. So jnanam can result in bhakti. But the practices of bhakti will not result in jnanam. Now again, what you need to decipher here is bhakti. Are you referring to bhakti as attitude or effort? Now, when we are discussing bhakti, I am skipping one word, right through. What is that? What is the title of the chapter?
Yoga.
Bhakti Yoga. That word is being skipped right through. Krishna is talking about what? Bhakti Yoga. What is Bhakti Yoga? Yoga means the effort to get back. So, when I am using Bhakti devotion as the effort to get back, only then this becomes Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise, it's just devotion. That's it. Like karma. When that karma becomes karma yoga, unless it is helping me to get back to the self, unite back to God, get back to the divinity in me, if it is not getting me to self-realization, God realization, any words, moksha, whatever words you use, liberation, if this ritual is not directing me to get back to liberation, it is helping me to go to Swargaloka, then it is called karma. Only when it is done with the idea of getting to moksha, it's called as karma yoga. Similarly, bhakti yoga. Bhakti practiced to go to particular loka in which the deity is bhakti. When it becomes bhakti yoga, only when I say I am using this emotion called bhakti to get to moksha. So my end is what? My goal is moksha, not that particular loka, not swarga. Now we are sliding into the chapter. Ipada we are entering the chapter. Just looking at the door. After 4 classes, we are entering. At least today, enter the class. Enter the topic. So when you are going there, what is the agenda? Agenda is not bhakti. Remember, moksha. You are traveling a route. You are not interested in the route. You are interested to reach a particular destination. I want to go to Bombay. If I want to go to Bombay, then what do we ask? How to reach there? Then we immediately counter question. We don't give answer. Are you going by cycle? Are you going by a two-wheeler? Are you going by car? Are you taking a bus? Are you taking a train? Are you taking a flight? How you are planning to reach? Correct? When you are taking a car and driving and reaching Bombay, all the time your focus is where? Not on the road, not on various cities that you will cover. You will touch and go. In between you will see Hubli comes, no? En route. Hubli. You are not interested in Hubli. You will not even look out for how to enter the city Hubli and come out. You will be looking out for what? Bypass. Is there a bypass? Oh, there's no bypass. It's closed. Work is going on. Now you get frustrated. You get irritated to drive through the city. Suppose if your destination itself is Hubli, then up to that entry point you will be driving on the highway and then get out. So all this is hinging on one parameter. What is it? What is your destination? Okay. Having fixed the destination, there is a problem. That's how the chapter begins. Chapter begins with, I've told you, the Gita is a conversation. I wouldn't say it is actually a sort of a conversation. It is a Q&A session. Question answer session. Chapter will begin either with Arjuna's question, and then the chapter will be the answer to that question, or Krishna himself will start a topic. Isn't it? Like that's how we start a class. Either I start on my own, or else you ask some question, and then from there we take a turn. Then we'll slowly come. We go around and come back. This same way here. We are just following the path of Krishna. Now, Arjuna has been instructed by Krishna very clearly. I am not asking you to perform karma for the sake of karma. Karma should be performed as karma yoga. Similarly, devotion should be practiced as bhakti yoga. So, union is the end result. That's why every chapter is having this word yoga, 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 yoga. Even the first chapter, which is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. I said, cannot be a more absurd, statement than that. How can Vishada become yoga? Despondency, depression becomes a spiritual. He is spiritually depressed. How can spirituality and depression can never go together? Because depression is a sick state. Spirituality is a healthy state. How can these two go together? But Vyasa adds that as a chapter in the Bhagavad Gita with the title Arjuna Vishada Yoga. See, fascinating one. That yoga is added. Now, with this backdrop, we should see what is the problem of Arjuna. The problem for Arjuna is this. Krishna has been going on talking about two things, and remember, just then he had seen that Vishwarupa. That memory is still so vivid, right? Sometimes after 1 week you ask a person about a dream. They forget something, that's all. Nothing I remember, But certain things you remember, no? There's a vivid memory. Now for Arjuna, which is once in a several janmas experience he has had. Not, once in lifetime. Once in several janma experience, that is. Like there are people who say, I met one person. He was saying, the drivers, he said, you're a driver? He said, yes. Even my father was a driver in their house. Oh, Paramparaya? Yeah. My father is great. I said, isn't great? What is so great about your father? When Nehru came, my father has driven him around the city. I say, wow. One day, for one shopping, he went and he came back. Somewhere he went and he dropped and he came back. But that one drive for him, not only for that father, that son is also carrying. And he'll be telling his grandson also. The grandson, my grandfather, he was a driver too. How long? Not a lifetime. Once. Once in a lifetime experience. What? Vishwarupa. And he had seen that, remember. Right? We have only studied. But for Arjuna, that was a actual experience. He had seen by himself. Now he is confused. Because earlier Krishna had mentioned Akshara Brahma Yoga. Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. In all that, he was talking about what? Nirguna Brahman. Right? Brahman. Without form. Now, he has shown that Vishwarupa. Universal form. Which includes every form. Everything is included in that form. Right? And this has been a problem from the Vedic period only. From the Vedas, this problem exists. Sahasra Shira Purusha. Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. Yes. So many heads. Which means what? There are heads, no? Correct, Dana? There is a head. So many hands. So many feet. Which means what? There is hands, there are feet, there is head. Is there? You can't say no. Who says that? Veda only says. Correct? If somebody else says, you can argue, that fellow blabbering. Now for us, we cannot say Veda is blabbering. One side. Other side, you come, they are talking about Nirguna Brahman. There is no form. Now, Arjuna is asking this question to him. Right? Very interesting question he is asking. Arjuna's problem is this now. I want to gain moksha. Okay. If I pursue that Vishwarupa, will I get moksha? Or if I pursue that Akshara Brahman, I will attain moksha. Moksha is the end. Remember, end is moksha. That's why we are adding the title yoga to all that. The word yoga is added everywhere. If yoga is not added everywhere, it's not moksha shastra. Right? Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita cannot be called as moksha shastra. We are calling it as moksha shastra only because of that one word. Yoga is added to everything. So, Arjuna's question is this now. He is asking, Sir, you showed me the form and you have been talking about Nirguna Brahman all while. Now tell me, if I worship the form, whether it is Chaturbhuja Vishnu or it is the Virat Rupa or this Vishwarupa, I am going to gain moksha, or Nirguna Brahman Upasana, I will get moksha. Edu, sollu. That's what is a fascinating question. And the answer is something, if Arjuna is like this, now you can imagine how Krishna will be. Amazingly he goes. One of the, small chapter, but highly confusing chapter. In the entire Bhagavad Gita, is a confusing chapter, 12th chapter. 13th chapter is very clear. What is very clear about 13 chapters, you will not understand anything. 15th chapter also like that. Something he says, correct, we will say and go. You can understand the complication there. You see, when you touch the 15th chapter and all, you understand something pregnant, something so heavy is there. Whereas you come to this chapter, it looks so innocuous, so casual, but almost indigestible. You will see that. Very amazing chapter. We are blessed to have such, texts available. I don't know what, punya we have done to get a text like this. No wonder why they kept Bhagavad Gita as one of the authoritative texts for in the entire, what the answers used to say, when someone comes to Hinduism, you would say, welcome to the library, which is a book you follow. Because all the systems have a book, right? Here, In the book, you would say, library, come. Because in that library, to pick 3 from that library is almost impossible. And they picked up that and kept separately. You can understand the depth in this portion. Amazing portion. Read that. We'll see the question in a little more detail. Read the verse, I'll explain then. Yeah.
Arjuna uvacha evam sadatayuktaye bhaktasvam
Paryupasate
ye chapyaksharamavyatam
tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Arjuna uvacha evam satatayuktaye bhaktasvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharamavyatam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Arjuna said, thus, those ever steadfast devotees who worship you, and also those who worship the imperishable, the unmanifest, Aksharam, Avyaktam. Which of these 2 are best versed in yoga? Yoga Vittamaha, the one who is the best. Who is the best? Now, when he is asking who is the best, he is asking which path is better, best. That's what the question is. Tamaha is that, best. Yoga with Tamaha. Compound becomes Yoga with Tamaha. Who is best amongst the practitioners? What is that 2 things he is referring to? One is Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Nirguna Bhakta, or Saguna Bhakta. Those who pursue Nirguna Brahman, those who pursue Saguna Brahman. Which is best? Who is superior? Right. It is best in the sense who is superior. Then he is asking one more question here. There are 3 things implied here. Remember, first point is when he is saying best, what is the implication of that best is this. There are 3 implied things in that best. Which path is superior path? Best and superior. Superlative, no? Best. So he is asking superiority. Yaar greater. Then he says, what is that best implies is, which is an easier path. Superiority is one aspect of it. Second aspect is, which is easier. Second one, best can be even with reference to, say, best route to solunga. Correct. Google Maps, when you put on, it will show, no? Best route available. Then you have to tell that. Then you have to put a condition. Without toll, Correct. Then it will show some other, no? Right. Best route. Which is, what does it mean? Easiest way to go. Easy route. Then best also implies which is a direct one. Straight we should land there. Moksha. Straight up moksha. He is asking. Meaning the one who is Saguna Brahma pursuer, is he closer or Nirguna Brahman pursuer is closer? So, first question, implication is this. Yoga Vittamaha. Best, worst. But he puts conditions, remember. He's not saying simply casual. He says, Satata Yuktaha. Means the one who is steadfast. You cannot say one person is lousy, another person is... No. Both are steadfast in their pursuit. Both are equally putting in their efforts. So you cannot distinguish based on their effort. Right? Effort is remaining the same. No change. Both are committed. Satata Yukta means both are fully committed to this. Committed to their pursuit. Because Krishna is the one who had stated that. They also reach. He also reaches in the 11th chapter. In the concluding verse. He is the one who said that. Since he is the one who said both are going to be achieving, his question is, who will be achieving it faster? Straight up on. Isn't it? Direct flight. Indirect flight is there, no? Stopover. 1 stopover, 2 stopover, and all is there. From here to Pune, you can go through Hyderabad. Isn't it? From Bangalore to Hyderabad, from Hyderabad to Pune. Or there is a flight directly from Bangalore to Pune. There are some flights which can go from Bangalore to Delhi, from Delhi to Pune. You can travel in that also. Now, it depends on, there are 2 people there who bought a ticket. One fellow bought a ticket, this, another fellow bought a ticket for this. Which one is reaching faster, quicker? Quick result. Which will produce quicker result? Second point is, best can be taken as which is easy to practice. Quicker result means the speed at which it can fructify. What? I want to get to moksha. Which will grant me moksha quicker? Saguna Brahman or Nirguna Brahman? Pursuit of Saguna Brahman is going to give that, or Nirguna Brahman is going to give that? Which is going to give? That is a question he is asking. Also, he is implying this, which is great. Who is superior? Easy to adopt. Easy to practice. It should be easy to practice. It should be great. Why? Arjuna belongs to a category. You'll always ask, wherever we have 2 things, immediately we ask what? Which is better? Always ask between the 2. So he is asking which is better here. Who is superior? I always want to associate with something which is superior. Then immediately we ask, lesser, superior but very expensive. Best are cheap are It should be the best product and it should be the cheapest. Mobile phone, when you go to buy, they can see that. Best mobile phone, cheap rate. Arjuna mind. That's what he is asking. Which will be taking me to this worship. Evam means thus. Means he is connecting to the previous claim of Krishna, because it is just a continuous conversation. Vyasa is the one who broke that into 18 chapters and gave a title depending on the subject of the discussion. So the subject of discussion in this portion is Bhakti Yoga. So he intercepted that and he divined. Otherwise, it's just a continuous conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. So Krishna said, they reach me. Therefore, he is asking. Thus, if you say that, then my doubt is, there are two people who are pursuing. One fellow is pursuing Vishwarupa because he said that reach me. Reach me means what? As Vishwarupa, he says, they reach me. That means he must be referring to Vishwarupa only. They will become Vishwarupa. They will merge into that Vishwarupa. Is that moksha? Or those who reach to the self, what he says? That is that state of realization, moksha, liberation. What are you referring to? Simple one-word answer, no? He's asking, which is better? All that he has to say is what? Give an answer, right? In the entire chapter, Krishna is not answering this question. 12th chapter, there is no answer. 13th chapter, no answer. 14th chapter, no answer. He is answering this question in the 15th chapter. By then, Arjuna would have forgotten the question only. Most of the people who are studying the Bhagavad Gita also would have forgotten the question by then. Because discuss so many things in between. Oh my God. How he guides him. No, beautiful one. The end of the 15th chapter, he gives the answer. Till then, he is keeping that as a close. Why he is doing that is, it demands so much of preparatory understanding to get to that answer. Because Arjuna, your question has a fallacy. Why Krishna is not answering is not because he doesn't want to answer. Because there is a fallacy in the question. And Krishna has to explain that to Arjuna and make him understand. But we will go directly to the fallacy. Because Arjuna is not here. Therefore we can. If Arjuna were to be standing there, we cannot go. Why not? Warrior. That's all. Krishna will not take chances. He is a very diplomatic fellow. He will not give answer like that. So he goes round and round and round, and then he breaks. He goes beat around the bush. And Krishna takes this as an excellent opportunity to expound the principle behind it. You see, there we gain. We get the benefit of it. You see, the progressive ways he is going to explain from the 6th verse onwards is a fascinating portion. You see, and then 35 qualities of bhakta is another amazing idea. For us, it's of a great benefit. But as far as the question is concerned, there is no answer to it. Why? Because in the chapter, no answer. Why there is no answer? There is a fallacy. In a fallacy, that's catch. I'll explain the next class. But no answer here. Question the question is a very simple, direct question he is asking. Nirguna Brahman or Saguna Brahman? The one who pursues Nirguna Brahman achieves moksha. Saguna Brahman achieves moksha. Both are committed. Both are consistent. Between the two, which is the best? Tell me. This is the quick question. Right. And Nirguna Brahman is what he is implying through these two words. Now we may ask, from where you got the Nirguna Brahman is from these two words. Imperishable Aksharam and Avyaktam. These two words denote the Nirguna Brahman. We'll see what is because we need to study little more before we go to Krishna's answer. Right? Little more need to be paid attention to Arjuna's question. We'll see in the next class. Thank you.